So the final step is Earth. What are Earth signs? What can we expect from Earth signs? So anytime you're dealing with Earth, you're dealing with the element of commitment, you're dealing with the element of structure, you're dealing with the element of practicality, you're dealing with very rigid, one step at a time, solid, stable. They're the builders. Earth is the builder. Earth is the last hay of God's name. Anytime you have that, you also have the potential for stuckness, stubbornness, and you also have the potential for, in Kabbalistically, the hay, malchut, when it's not infused with faith, it could lead a person to be stuck, and that's where depression. That's where, again, clinical depression is different, but that's where depression come in, sadness, negative thinking, pessimistic. Are you going to tell a Sagittarius to be pessimistic? Absolutely not. He's on the run. Are you going to tell a fire sign to be on the pessimistic? No. He's on the move. But when you'll see this, they have a harder time with pessimism. So they have a hard time fighting. They need a lot of happiness, and they need to fight for simcha, and they need to fight for joy. Constant fight for happiness. The main struggles you'll see are always around happiness and not getting stuck on the details of life, not getting stuck on the routines, not getting stuck in the momentum. If you don't have anything to pull you out of the earth, then you have a just religion without spirituality, where air signs are more spirituality, but they need more the structure. So this is where definitely Earth has a problem, where they have a problem where they can lack renewal. They can lack that renewal, they can lack that new faith. Sometimes they'll get struck too much on logic and trauma. Why did this happen to me? I don't understand. Or they'll believe, they need to hear, I need to see it to believe it. I don't believe it until I see it. Well, good luck with that. How many times do we have to believe it to see it afterwards? So faith is not a logical thing. And a lot of our Torah is not logical. It's about us making that move first, and then we see things. And that's, if you tell an earth sign, well, you have to, think greater than you feel. They don't understand that concept. If you tell them, laugh and things will get better. What are you talking about? How can I laugh and things will get better? It's like talking Chinese to them. So this is where they're stuck in a box, and they need a lot of help on imagination and thinking better than the current circumstances, manifesting. They need that water element. They need that spirituality. They need something the water needs to take them out. That's why water and earth are good, because they're both stable, but water brings out the emotion out of it. Like you'll see a Taurus and a Scorpio. Scorpio is very, very spiritual, very into meaning in life, where Taurus is just about money, life, acquisition. I'm the bull, leave me alone. The Taurus needs the Scorpio energy. So you can see water and air combined. You'll see the Virgo and the Pisces, the complete opposite. A Virgo is structure, criticism, this is the way it has to be, blah, 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 blah. Where a Pisces is spirituality and think about meaning and prayer. Where Virgo is all about being a perfectionist, and everything has to be exactly the way. Pisces is the complete opposite, embracing and imagination and dreaming. Tell a Virgo to dream. They don't understand. They're too obsessed with the details. So you can see how how it all connects so much. This is why Elul comes right before, right? Elul is Virgo. Elul represents the concept of Bina, of Elul, preparing, etc. We'll get into that name. So let's start with Capricorn. So Capricorn is Tevet. The month of Tevet is the emotion of Tevet is anger. When do we get angry in life? When we try to control everything. Who tries to control everything? Capricorns. There's your when we lose control. Why? Because they have a fear of not being, they're very ambitious, but it has to be constant. All they're thinking about is ambitious. So they're very steady, but when things don't go their way, the month of Tevet represents anger. It's a cold month. You could see why even the energy of the organ of the month is the liver, and the emotion of the month is anger. So that's the month that they have to work on a lot of anger. Remember, first comes fear, then comes control. People who have fear seek to control. After control, what happens if you lose your control? You get angry. And after, what's after anger? Depression. So you could see where when things don't go their way, things are not, my expectations are not exactly the way because I'm so ambitious, and my expectations are not exactly the way it is, they get angry, and God forbid they can come to depression. And this is why their month is Saturn. So Saturn itself represents a month of which Saturn is really Bina, but Saturn is Saturn. It has a negative aspect. Saturn it's a negative month. It could be a negative aspect to Saturn. And anytime you're dealing with this, we're dealing with Bina, you're dealing with limitations, and you're dealing with doubts and darkness. So you'll see their problem is pessimism, anger, control. Are they ambitious? Are they confident? Yes. They're stable, they're growth-oriented, they're successful, they're appreciative, straightforward, amazing. But if they don't have trust and they don't have spirituality, it's too much of that energy. Because they're always chasing something. I must have more. I must have this. I must be ambitious. So they have that Capricorn energy. They have that. But they can get very pessimistic when they don't get what they want. And this is where they have to embrace spirituality. Their strengths, they're stable, growth-oriented, successful, appreciative, straightforward. You could be successful. Remember, not all happy people are successful, but not all successful people are happy, but all happy people are successful. So if they need happiness to give them the blessing in their success. We just spoke about the Taurus angle is, if you're happy, you're going to be successful. Their angle, Capricorn, sometimes where they have a problem is they don't have spirituality. I need success to be happy. Completely opposite. So you could see that area in their life can really, really bring them darkness. Their weaknesses, they're too serious because they're so obsessed with the outcome. They're demanding. They're too predictable. We have a need for certainty in our lives. We have a need for uncertainty. They're too certain. So you get what you get. Sometimes in life you need a little passion. A fire sign needs passion, needs a new. When there's no passion, then things can get boring. They're very reserved. They're very picky because they are successful, picky and snobbish. So what works for them is earth signs and water because of the loyalty. They need loyalty also, and they need seriousness. But they're too serious in general. There's strengths in work. Anytime that they're not succeeding, their method is, I'm not working hard enough, level up. Work harder. Gain more power. More dominant. More determinism. They never stop. They never stop moving, which is good. But if it's for the wrong reason, then there's no spirituality. It's just too much obsession, too much accumulation. And that's why when they don't get things their way, depression, stubbornness, and unforgiving. They're very serious people. They're serious, direct, but their weaknesses are pushy, smothering, and overbearing. They have too much an obsession with victory and honor, and they need less judgment and heaviness. They need to be more lighter, more fun, they need a little bit of the Sagittarius energy. It's funny, the opposite of Capricorn is Cancer. On the south node of Capricorn is the north node is Cancer. So they need a little Cancer energy. What is Cancer? More emotional, caring, family-oriented, more emotional and connecting, more emotional versus that. They have too much obsession with victory. Their honor could lead to stagnation, being negative. They need to embrace change and use the talents for good. When I lose control, I lose. When I share and I show my feelings, I win. They need to show their feelings. They need to show their vulnerability and stop just thinking about obsession. I could lead, but I don't have to control. Stop controlling, because remember, when you don't lose control, remember, the only one's control is God. We put in effort, but that doesn't mean our effort's going to give us a success. Success is up to our Creator. So they could put the effort, but they can't It can't be my way or the highway. Taurus. Taurus is on the month of the Omer, which is the month of Iyar. Iyar represents a month of self-development. So Tauruses, you'll see, are very, very, very... Their tikkun is really to do a lot of inner work. That's also the month of healing. But they have their biggest... They're very dependable, but they are interested in one thing: possessiveness. I must possess. I need more money. I need more of this. I need a bigger house. They're too into possessiveness of monetary things. And what happens is they're not like they can have a problem with not being spiritual. They're just too stubborn. Remember, Taurus is double stubbornness, double control, double this. So already you have Earth that's already stubborn. Now you have a Taurus, double stubborn. So there will be when people are trying to tell them, hey, move. They don't like to move. That's who they are. This is who I am. Like it or leave it. So sometimes they could lose a lot of opportunities because they're not open. Their strength is they're very stable. They're providers. They like good lives. They like, again, materialism. But again, they're irrational and stubborn. Life cannot just be about money. If they don't have spirituality, they won't have much. Now, will they be the best surgeons? Will they be predictable? Will they be late? No. They will be the best almost at everything they do because they have that solid stability and focus and etc. But then, one thing is work, one thing is fun. Are they the funnest person in the world, people? Are they spontaneous? No. It's too much them. This is why the bull, it just likes to be by itself, where they have to be more of people. And what's the opposite of a Taurus? Is a Scorpio. Scorpio's, loves to lead, loves people, loves to help. Taurus too much into themselves. But they'll be loyal. They're not quick to change. You understand? They're also the planet it's funny how the emotion of them is neck. Neck is in the month, if you look at the month, the word is connected, neck. So again, stiff-necked. The Jews refer to as stiff neck. This is why the Omer period worked on the fact that we have to do all the character development in the month of Iyar, because that's the month of stuckness. Too much stuckness. So we have to really, really work on that. So again, embracing life will lead to change, will lead to vitality. Empowering others will help me grow. Because again, get out of yourself, where Scorpio is all about everybody else. That's the south node is a Taurus, and north node will be Scorpio. So that person needs the positive Scorpio energy, which is embracing, helping others, being spiritual, where Taurus is just be about accumulations and having possessions. And as a Taurus, you need spirituality in your life, you need faith, because otherwise you'll get stuck. What happens if you thought you were going to make 10 million, you only made 5 million? All you're going to do is try to get more and more and more. Maybe you were meant to only make 5 million, but you were going to have a much spiritual life that you're going to be so much happier. But if money and acquisitions is all you care about, that's where you're going to, the life could be a little bit, it could lose its spud. And also, people need spontaneity. You're dating sometimes a Taurus, they're too predictable, so there's no fun, there's no newness, romantic. They need to get that romance, etc. Although, again, water does like, we're Scorpios and Earth signs. For example, water and Earth does connect because they're both stable and they have the same goals. But definitely Earth needs water to bring the emotions out of them, to bring the spirituality out of them. Fire needs air to give them imagination. Fire gives air a fuel to go. The same thing. So this is where those matches, fire and air, go better just as good as water and earth, because they're both. Water can also, when earth is stuck, what does water do? Lifts the earth up. And also, what could earth do to water? Take their emotions out of the picture and bring the problems into practicality. So you can see how they can both complement each other. course, fire can work with fire can also work with earth, but you'll have the problem because if you have a fire sign, he wants to fuel the earth up, and what happens? Earth doesn't want to move because that's the way he likes it. He's not into this passion. He's into stability. So fire, like just like could fire move earth? Not really, unless it wants to be moved. So you could see they both. If a fire and an earth sign, an earth together, they both have to be open-minded to patience, etc. Just like a water and air, if they're together, water is very attached, air is very detached. So where water wants to deal with the issue, air doesn't want to deal with the issues. So that's where they can clash. That's why they're more compatible. Fire and air and water and earth are more compatible because they have more similarities in those aspects. Virgo's all about, this is the month of, we're in a month, actually right now we're taping this class in the month of Elul, which is coming up tonight. And what is this energy of Virgo? Elul, the New Year's coming, we're nervous. What's going to be, what do we need to change? We want to be perfect. So you could see the month that's connected to that is Mercury. It's all about, Virgo's all about taking action. Governor DeSantis is Earth, is a Virgo. Taking action, no fluff. He'll criticize what's not working, and he's not afraid to. It's tremendous action. OCD works exactly what needs to be done. Again, not to get political, but the whole point is you can see how his mannerisms are, things have to be done. It's all action, no talk. Well, if you have just a talk person, a politician that just talks, all day long he's doing his talking, but he's not taking any action. Not the Virgo. The Virgo's taking action. They're making things happen and they're getting things done. So this is the month of Elul, is a month of action. This is not just it's in your head. Get going. Take some action. So they're very action oriented. They're very nervous because they want everything to be perfect. So sometimes they're too critical of themselves. So in the month we have to also believe, yes, Rosh Hashanah is coming, a new month is coming. We have to work on ourselves to become the best, but we're not going to be perfect. Virgos are too much obsession with perfection, and if things don't go their way, they get very fussy. Same thing with themselves. If they're not perfect, they get fussy, and they criticize too much. They criticize themselves too much and criticize others too much. So they need less criticism and more of the Pisces, let it go, loving, dreamy mindset. Just a connection of the Yud, the letter of this month is Yud. Yud represents Chachma, it means thought. But if it's backwards, devoy, sickness, sick of worrying. They could take the same Yud and be sick of worrying, too much worrying. And sometimes because of their bigger issue, and you'll see this a lot in the month of Elul, and the Virgos, etc., they make a big deal out of every little thing. So sometimes because they make a big deal out of every little thing, they're not going to see the big picture in life. They fail to see the big picture because everything has to be perfect. For example, if I'm in the gym for 50 minutes and I'm spending 30 minutes on perfecting my workout routine and I end up only doing 20 minutes, and at the end of the day, I only got 20 minutes in when I could have been 50 minutes and not doing it so perfect, I would have gotten 40 minutes in. But they're so obsessed with the perfectionism. And that's where they have to let go and stop being fussy over little things and just let things go. Are they good dressers? Is their house in order? Are they organized? Number one. They want an organized life and they want to be Mr. Perfect. That's a Virgo. But again, spiritually, we're not perfect. Not only that are we not perfect, but spiritually, we are all broken, but that's where the light comes in our life. So you can see there's actually a positivity of being broken, because the brokenness is where the light comes in, where God comes in. They're too focused on not letting the thing break. If you don't let it break, the light can't come in. So this is where they need to embrace more of the Pisces, which is the polar opposite on the North Node, South Node, is a Virgo is the opposite, which is Pisces, which is all about let it go and spirituality and dreaming and not being so stuck on every detail. Now Pisces need the details of Virgo. which is the opposite, where Pisces can take away the only thinking, only nervousness, and bring it to that. They're very modest. They like to help. They're organized. They have routine. They dress well. They're reliable. They're domestic. But the weaknesses: judgmental, controlling, skeptical, critical, anxious, and perfectionist. And they're very closed and silent, but they're all action. They're very hardworking. They're organized. They keep cool. They're not going to let their emotions go over. But when things don't go their way, they're too overcritical. They're controlling. They're bossy. They're nervous, and they're not really flexible. They analyze systems and they make systems work. But again, if one thing is wrong, doesn't mean everything is wrong. You can have a beautiful dress and one stain, the dress is garbage. Too much focusing on the negative instead of focusing on the positive. One thing is wrong, everything's wrong. It's the missing towel syndrome. Focusing on everything that's right, not everything is wrong. They need a lot of azamra. They need a lot of finding the good points and self-compassion versus self-criticism and constant bitterness. So you could see, now, are they going to, do you want them to organize your house? Do you want them to decorate your house? Do you want them to, yes, best for the jobs. There's nobody that has more structure than them in this area. But everything in life comes with a cost. Everything comes with a cost. Because the whole goal cannot be just this. It has to be more emotional and letting go, etc. When I let go and let God, I win. So they have to let go and let God. Let go of the imperfections, let go. When they let go and let God, they win. My survival is not threatened by disorder. It's a mess. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. You'll see a Pisces is never going to go criticize. And for a person, for everything, they're so sensitive because they don't want to be criticized. They won't do it to others. So they're so sensitive and they'll hold back. Versus the Virgos, they'll let you have it. This is the way it's done, etc. But again, we need to have both. So this is where a creator in this month of Virgo, he wants us to be a little nervous, the tshuva. He wants us to be a little nervous, but he doesn't want us to be obsessed with the details. Specifically the month, Rav Nachman tells us that the month of Elul is all about handling the ups and downs. So as much as you want to be perfect, you're going to have ups and downs spiritually. And that's in everything in life. Your imperfection is your perfection. So this is an area when they have spirituality, their imperfection is their perfection. And as they start seeing their imperfections, they'll be less critical to see others' imperfections. And this is where they'll let go. They'll let go and they'll let God. So again, any sign can work with any sign. But the most important, I can't tell you, is how important just knowing all this information. We just spoke about 2 hours of just personalities, traits, understanding people. Right now, we're trying to control others, and it doesn't work. We're judging others, and then you're getting judged. Understand. That's the whole point of understanding. Change your style a little bit. If you see you have a Virgo wife, try to be extra careful on how neat you are. Try to make her happy in that area if it makes her happy. If you have an Aquarius son, try not to control him and tell him what to do. Give him some space. Give him some space. If you have a Leo wife, compliment her and give her compliments all day long so she feels good and she doesn't have to lead it. If you're a Pisces, be careful with the sensitivity and let him work with him. Let him help others and bring him in. We need to all strengthen each other. If you're a Scorpio, recognizing that they're all in, they really want the best for you, and don't take everything they say with such harshness because they're very brutal and honest. Many people in my classes, I'm honest. I want people to win. I want people to succeed, but don't take it like they're doing it out of bad intentions. Their intentions are only to make you the best because they're intense. So we could see how all of this can really lead to more love, more harmony, and we understand where each other's coming from. Obviously, you could see if two Scorpios are differently, depending on again, if you can have a different moon sign. The moon sign is more the inner mood. The fear is the moodiness, the inner character, where the sunshine is the outer. Obviously, there's also a couple of houses, but in general, I don't want you to be obsessed with picking the exact time, etc. I want you to be more accessible. We all know what personalities we have. We know what sounds familiar, but this is all to work on ourselves. One person's going to work on his prayer and anger management. Another going to work out as creator of the world. Give me the strength to give me the courage to give me a decision. Another person's going to work on creator of the world, teach me how to let go and pray for happiness. Pray for happiness. A Virgo's going to pray for happiness and letting go and let God. He's not going to pray for structure. God gave him that structure already. So you could see how we all need a different thing, and that's where when we complete God's name, then we're connected to all energy. And this is what harmony is all about. Harmony is all about bringing earth, fire, water, and air together. And all their negative personalities come from this. This harmony is when there's one element off. This is why Chinese medicine, they're always checking your tongue, they're checking the pulse, they're taking this. It's because they're recognizing what's off. Is it too much cold, too much hot? Where's the pulse off? The pulse is off. And the pulse is also a Kabbalistic thing. So may our Creator bless us all, that we should all become the best version of ourselves, have the right menu to work with others, optimize our relationships, optimize our relationship with our kids. You don't know how many times you hear, all my father is he gave me all this, he told me what to do, and he gave me no warmth. All he told me what to do. He wanted perfectionism out of me. Could have been a Virgo father. Wanted perfection, and he didn't give me any warmth. And the kid has low self-esteem. Where, if you don't understand where your father's coming from, why did he come like that? So this is where we all have to see that we all want to be very, very, we want to have high warmth, but we also want to have high expectations for people. We don't want to have low warmth and high expectations. Then you're never going to get your message across. You also don't want to have high warmth and no expectations. Then you're enabling a person not to grow. And you don't also want to have no expectations and no warmth, and you don't care about the person. So there has to be that combination of, like spiritually, what we speak about, kindness and and judgment. With the right hand and the left hand, that combination brings harmony. That's what brings dat. We speak about this chesed and gevura. And this is where we can now look at our relationship and see what's going on. And hopefully this class will help you.